Okay, when we look at the leadership, you know, most of the time when we talk about these issues, we look at the leadership. But you said something about, you know, for instance, I go into politics as a local government chairman, and I come out without, you know, having my house in, you know, those highbrow areas, and I'll be seen as a failure. Where is the place of the people here where we celebrate what we shouldn't?
I think that clearly keys into what has just happened in talking about the present political development in the country. And that is the primaries already concluded by the two major political parties in the country. The whole essence of democracy operates to locate the people. Anything done without the people in consideration removes the shine off the seal of any democratic experimentation. And how do I mean? Beyond what we are told to be the ordinary definition of democracy, you would find that once a process is no longer participatory by the people, it removes the very important aspect of that process, which is the legitimacy of it. I am saying that the people ought to have the upper hand. But you know what? We are here in this country. This whole effort, deliberate effort by the ruling class to discountenance the people didn't start today. And that is why you have no middle class in this society as we speak today. It's either you're there or you're down. Forget the jackets and the agbada that we're putting on here now. If you are not there, you are down. And so, once that vacuum is created, you are beginning to tamper with the capacity of the people who are supposed to give right judgment, who are supposed to respond to their convictions. You are beginning to whittle their capacity to even make choice, which is what democracy is all about. It is a platform of ideas and a forum for choice. And so, once you don't have that capacity, they dangle what you need. Look at the front page of Punch today. You would see what probably went on in both parties regarding the nature of the dollar thing. Yes, and the outcome of the election. That is newspaper reports, no doubt. But I make this point because you have asked the most important question. To what extent are the people not just supposed to be participatory, but supposed to define the outcome of these processes? In our own climate, the role of the people is very distant, is very far-fetched. It is such that you probably cannot exclusively rely on the popularity, the goodwill, or even the capacity of the contestants. You probably will be looking in the direction of what they can offer temporarily to sway the mind of the people. But let me land finally in saying that even if we have all of these as challenges, the political gladiators must watch it this time. I'm not saying this because I have all the answers to how it's going to work out, but the variables we're dealing with now have changed. And how do I mean? There are, just as you have in the United States, there are swing states in this country. And those states are Lagos, Kano, Rivers State, and Sokoto states. What used to obtain in the past, particularly in the control of those states, are no longer what they are today. If you also consider the fact that, as we speak, the kind of political transmutations that had happened in the last 6 months, leading to the merger, Chief Igbokwe will confirm that, of parties who were otherwise doing it alone, you will find that the equation has changed considerably. If it has changed, then it starts to reason that the permutations of those who think it is usually a free ride will necessarily change if they must continue to hold on to the smooth end of the handle.
Okay, you were going to say. I wanted to ask Mr. Igbokwe, your presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, this is his fourth attempt. The first time, the second time, the third time. What makes you think this time is going to be, yes, the time?
Well, if you go back to history, I remember, I think Abraham Lincoln, so how many times? 10 times. This is the fourth one.
So he still has 6 more chances.
And I want you to take it very serious. But before I go back to that, to your question, let me go back to what Chief said about corruption, because I don't want to forget it. We should be mindful of what we say in public. If we want to say, corruption is everywhere, therefore we have to leave it, we are sending dangerous signals to upcoming generation that is a way of life. It cannot be curbed. You cannot reduce corruption completely in every society, but you have to reduce it to the barest minimum so that money that you are supposed to use to do something cannot go into private pockets. Let's take the issue of power. Before I go back to your question, it's not rocket science. If states, have been allowed to build their own power stations, you would have had one in Lagos now. But what did Lagos do? Lagos has built some power stations to power very, very key institutions. We have the Akute Power Project, we have the Kenya Power Project, we have the Lausa Power Project, we have the Mainland Power Project, we have Island Power Project. The Lekki Peninsula one is going on. It's not rocket science. These things are done within 1 year, and you have light. So if we wanted to, we would have done it. If we had had a serious person, the issue of power in the past 15 years, 16 years would have been addressed, given the quantum of money that have been invested. Now, let me go back to your question. You see, the equation has changed, like you said. It's not going to be an easy ride, because you look at where we're coming from. The formation of the parties, the alliance that we tried in 2011 did not work. We went back. You saw the troubles. You saw the mines that were soon on the way. You saw an attempt to stop the process, but we were able to pull that. PDP cannot say, we're going to rule Nigeria 60 years. It's no longer tenable, given the permutations and calculations we have on the table. He told you about swing states. Lagos, Kano, Sokoto, Rivers. These are the states with higher votes. By the time you do your simple calculations, you know that it's not the emergence of Buhari has changed the whole thing. And he has a track record. His puritanical stand on corruption. You remember he was once a head of state, a governor, a minister, chairman of this, chairman of that, chairman of PTF. So he's coming to the table with a lot in his hands. And anybody who knows his capacity or capability will do that at his own peril.
Even though Nigerians have said 3 times no, no, no. And he's going by the result of the
11 million votes. 11 million votes. Probably in 2003, 2 million. In 2007, he repeated the same in 2011. In fact, the case went to the Supreme Court.
But as the Senator just said, 12 million votes still did not get him the presidency.
I'm coming. The case went to the Supreme Court in 2011. 3 judges said this election will not stand. 3 said this election will not stand. It took the intervention of the Chief Justice of the Federation to save the presidency. Otherwise, it would have gone. So the election of 2011 was not free and fair. As it were, it was not free and fair. So this time, Nigerians don't want to know where you are coming from, what church you go, or what mosque you go. We want somebody who will address our problem. The problems are enormous. We cannot continue. If we make the mistake again, we're going to suffer for another 4 years. Let me tell you, if you are going for World Cup, if you are not prepared, when you get there, the first match they kick you out, you enter the next plane and come back. if you make the mistake in a country, in a presidential election, if you make the mistake of putting somebody who is not good, he will suffer for the next 4 years.
Okay.
We don't want that again.
All right, we have to begin to wind up, but just as we begin the winding up process, let me hear your comment very quickly before I ask the next question.
I've said so. Buhari is a formidable opponent, no doubt at all. But his campaigning for him is as if he has no minors. He has plenty of questions to answer. Not today. You cannot answer for him. I worked in Lagos State when he was head of state. And I have his document. And I'll bring it out. That's number one. You talk about power in Lagos State. There's a company called Negris that built power station. There's somebody that bought those power station and sold it to the Lagos State government. I have the document. Nobody is perfect.
No, General, don't tell us.
It was corruption. This company built all those power stations.
Don't tell us where it's coming from.
Who bought them? One person with his company. Who sold this to Lagos State? One person. The documents are available. I'm warning you. I am part and parcel of Lagos. You are not there. Okay. So don't let us talk here.
Okay.